back to Talks Podcast, episode 24. Let's get it. B3. Let's go. I'm actually playing this game right now on Steam. Start playing this game. Let's go. Back to Talks Podcast. You guys have a great weekend. Let's get it. Let's go. Okay. That song is crazy. I haven't heard this song in the game yet, but I'm actually playing Persona 3 Portable right now. But anyways, hey, what's up, Hawks? It's your boy Hawk. Welcome back to the episode of Hawks Podcast. Today's episode is episode 24. It's either 23 or 24. I'm pretty sure the last podcast episode, which is also dropping the same time this is dropping, either Friday night or Saturday night. I'm pretty sure Friday night will be a better time, to be honest with you. So, yeah, alright, let's see. It is 2:35 p.m. when I'm recording this episode. I'm pretty sure it's episode 24, so I'm recording this 2:35 p.m. It's a Friday, September 8th. It's a beautiful day outside. You know, still summertime. Still got a couple weeks left of summer. You know, it's a couple weeks of summer break for me, so I'm gonna enjoy my time. Enjoy my time to rest and relax, you know. But anyways, today's episode is mainly going to be about red flags you should not ignore in yourself. Specifically, 6 red flags you should not ignore in yourself. This podcast episode topic is courtesy of Psych2Go, YouTube channel with almost 12 million subscribers on YouTube. I reacted to them before, I believe before I turned 21. That was like the last podcast I recorded before 2023, and they had a really good video about bad habits that you should stop, and I talked about that, and that was such a great video, so I decided why not react to another video for them on this podcast. And yeah, that's going to be the topic for today's video: red flags you should not ignore in yourself, from Psych2Go. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Let's go, man. 6 red flags you should not ignore in yourself, from Psych2Go. This video came out 3 months ago, May 18th, 2023, almost 4 months ago. It has 500,000 views, 30,000 likes. Alright, let's get straight to it. It's a 4-minute video, or almost 5-minute video, so it's going to be kind of short, but I think it should still be fine. And it's going to be very educational. Alright, let's get to it. 6 red flags you should not ignore in yourself.
Can certainly be true for ourselves too, don't you think?
Was this the last video I reacted to? No, it wasn't. Okay, never mind.
Because in relationships and in... There's a quote from the TV show BoJack Horseman, written by showrunner Raphael Bob Waxberg, that goes, "When you look at someone through rose-colored glasses, all the red flags just look like flags." Right. And though the original context talks about red flags in romantic relationships, the same can certainly be true for ourselves too, don't you think? Because as hard as it is sometimes to spot the warning signs in our own relationships and in the people we love, it might be even harder to spot them in ourselves because of our tendencies to empathize and rationalize with our own choices and actions. With that said, here are 6 red flags you need to look out for in yourself, according to experts. Number 1, unconstructive self-talk. Psychologist Dr. Elizabeth Scott defines negative self-talk as any inner dialogue you have with yourself that may be limiting your ability to believe in yourself and your own abilities and to reach your potential. In fact, research by Kinderman, Schwanner, Ponton, and Tai found that negative self-talk increases the risk of mental health problems such as decreased motivation, feelings of helplessness, and even depression. So if you're guilty of constantly putting yourself down and having a lot of self-deprecating thoughts, even the ones you pass off as jokes, then talking to a professional or applying effective CBT techniques, for example, thought stopping, mindfulness, etc., can help you minimize this. 2, neurotic need for social validation. Do you feel that you're too much of a people pleaser? Does your self-esteem often go up and down depending on other people's opinions and feelings towards you? Perhaps you feel a strong need to always get everyone else to like you, regardless of whether or not you even like them. All of these are signs that you may have a neurotic need for social validation. And this is a red flag because according to mental health and wellness author Marissa Pomerantz, people with too high a need for social validation often have low self-esteem and stay in or even chase after unhealthy, one-sided friendships and relationships. Neurotic need for control.
That's good.
Constantly needing to fix other people's problems for them, running to their rescue even when you don't want to, and micromanaging everyone around you are all not only red flags but telltale signs that you may have a neurotic need for control. According to Dr. Christine Adams, in an article for Psychology Today, people who struggle with this most likely grapple with strong feelings of helplessness and to cope become overly demanding in their way of relating to other people. Number 4, toxic perfectionism. Related to the earlier point, Dr. Christine Adams also talks about something she calls self-control freaks, or what is more commonly known as toxic perfectionism. The problem, according to Dr. Adams, is that people like this expect themselves to perform perfectly and without error, and as such are only setting themselves up for failure and disappointment. This is not only a definite red flag and a weakness, but a harmful habit for your mental health. Number 5, avoidant attachment. In an article from BetterHelp, which was medically reviewed by licensed clinical social worker April Justice, people with avoidant attachment styles tend to be emotionally detached and closed off. They often feel uncomfortable with long-term closeness and intimacy in relationships. As a result, their knee-jerk response is to avoid the other person or manifest other self-sabotaging behaviors such as cheating, ghosting, and never asking for help instead of communicating with the other person and collaborating on resolving the issue with them. And number 6, social media addiction. Another red flag you might not realize you have is social media addiction. Researchers like WHO and others found in a 2019 study that it negatively affected college students' mental health and academic performance. An article from Healthline written by medical health practitioners Dr. Christine Cherney and Dr. Timothy Legg found that some possible downsides of too much social media consumption are low self-esteem, increased feelings of loneliness, anxiety or depression, the onset of social anxiety disorder, disrupted sleep patterns, decreased physical activity, ignoring real-life relationships, and reduced ability to empathize with others. So, do you see any of these red flags in yourself? Let us know in the comments below. If the answer is yes, then know that you're not alone. Most of us are struggling with at least one or more of these. What matters most isn't that we strive for perfection, but for growth and self-development. And as with any other challenge we encounter, the first step to overcoming it is to acknowledge the problem. Dr. Itai Ibsen, a positive psychologist and professor at Europa University, suggests that we can change ourselves for the better in a gradual 3-step process of setting goals for ourselves over 3 weeks with increasing difficulty. But of course, if you are seriously struggling with any mental health concerns, do not hesitate to reach out to a psychologist or a counselor today and get the help and support you need and deserve.
Another great video from Psych2Go again. Back to back great points. A bunch of, okay, we're gonna talk about this in the final thoughts, but that was a great video, great animation, entertaining throughout. Really appreciated that video, so I'm gonna hit that like button. Gonna put that to the favorites. It's really good. It's a solid video, actually. Okay, so I was planning to react to this video sometime, but I didn't know when. They also have a Discord if you guys want to join. But yeah. All right. Wow, that's great. That's great. Final thoughts. Once again, shout out to Psych2Go, shout out to the whole team for that great video. That video was very informative, very educational, and engaging overall. I really appreciate that video, and it was like another reminder to look inside of yourself and see what kind of things you should change. So one of the things, she brought up a bunch of red flags, particularly 6 red flags. One of them being negative self-talk. That was the first one she talked about. That was the first thing mentioned in the video. And negative self-talk can really damage the way you perceive yourself, because you're always talking down on yourself. And this kind of reminds me of a video, I think I said this in the last Psych2Go video I reacted to, which I talked about Nathan Zed in that video again. But Nathan Zed is one of my favorite. He's a YouTube legend. He's a YouTube legend, certified, and internet legend, but certified YouTube legend. And so Nathan Zed was talking about how negative self-talk, he wanted to get rid of negative self-talk, and throughout the video, it's one of his videos where he was talking about negative thoughts, and then at the end of the video, he got rid of the thoughts by thinking more positively and just taking more of a helpful mindset. And that was such a great video. It's an older video from Nathan Zed. It's not so old, like he has videos from like 10 plus years ago, but it's still older. It came out like 2016. And so negative self-talk definitely can affect you. Try and find a way to eliminate that. Have more positive. I know it's kind of corny. People said that more positive thoughts, but more I'd say ignore certain negative thoughts, certain negative things that people may say to you that isn't helpful. Saying unhelpful thoughts. Find outlets, find ways to get rid of that. Like maybe escaping into a different world, like maybe playing a video game, for example, or practicing mindful techniques, like what I was mentioning in the last video, like practicing more mindful techniques, going outside, getting fresh air, just refreshing your mind to not think so negatively, because being negative, of course, like she said in the video, leads to low self-esteem and just overall just a worse outcome in terms of like your thought process, and you're not able to focus as much as you would if you thought more positively. And obviously sometimes I get it, it's hard to do so, but at the same time it's good to have overall a positive outlook on life, because that's going to be more beneficial for your health and your mental well-being, which is super important. Your mental well-being is super important. So other red flags she brought up included a need for social validation. I think that's something that we learn like in elementary school, and it goes into middle school and high school, where we need to fit in, and that's okay. Like, you need to fit into like certain groups or like certain things, but you shouldn't compromise yourself to fit in with certain social groups. I think there's a difference between feeling a need to fit in and also not compromising yourself and not doing stuff that you wouldn't do, goes against your morals, stuff like that. You should be able to feel comfortable within the communities that you're in. And so that's why the need for social validation, like she said, brings up a bunch of negative points, like low self-esteem, because people who constantly need human validation or constant social validation probably have low self-esteem and don't have the best mental health. Like, it's just not okay. And then some other red flags you brought up include social media addiction, which I've talked about that in the channel before, but addiction, never good. Never good to be addicted to anything, especially things that are just like negative, that can lead to negative outcomes. She brought up a bunch of like points as to why it's not good to be addicted to social media, which I was like, whoa, that's a bunch of reasons as to why you should take breaks. It's good to take breaks and refresh. That's one of the main things I've been doing this past year, is just been taking time to refresh and take breaks and step out and not be so overconsumed with things. You know what I'm saying? Okay, she brought up a need for control. Okay, a need for control, that's not good. Something you should fix. And let's see what else she brought up. She brought up avoiding attachment, and I think emotional detachment as well. I think those are both negative things as well. Like she mentioned, there's a bunch of reasons as to why she put that was in the video, because it's a red flag. Avoiding attachment, because ghosting and cheating, like all this, especially cheating, is terrible. Like that's just awful. So I mean, avoiding attachment is overall not a good thing, and a need for control, again, is not a good thing as well, because you can't have control of literally everything in your life. Sometimes you need to let go and just be like, okay, control the things you can't control in your life, basically. Toxic perfectionism. Okay, that's true. And so all the red flags she mentioned in the video, I agree with. She brought up a bunch of great sources. This is all clinically backed research, so it's hard for me to disagree with any of the red flags she brought up in the video. All these are just clinically, medically, all the leads, they're all backed up by profession, by research. And yeah, I completely agree with all the red flags, and it's good to improve and self-improvement. So that's why I always enjoy watching these videos and these type of videos. And shout out to Psych2Go once again for another great video. And I really appreciate that video is definitely going in the favorite section, and I hit the like button as well. I'm pretty sure subscribe as well to the channel. So that was a great video from them. So shout out to Psych2Go, and hope you guys enjoyed this video, enjoy this podcast. So let me know what you guys thought in it. Let me know what you guys thought about the video. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time. So hope you guys have a great day, great night whenever you're watching this, a great weekend if you're watching this on the weekend, or weekday whenever you're watching this. And I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace out, Ox. Have a nice day. Goodbye. All right, see you guys next time. Let's go, man. That was quick. This is the quickest I've recorded a video in a while. I'm playing this game on Steam right now. Friday, September 8th. It's almost 3 p.m. Let's go. Finish recording. All right. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Have a nice day. Goodbye.